What's going on? Welcome to Unlocking Your Inner Strength. In these episodes, I share with you insights and inspirations that have come to me on my path in life, and hopefully they can be a welcome hand of guidance as you move along your journey. I teach because I'm passionate about my message. I teach because it helps me to learn more deeply. Thanks for sharing a few minutes of your time with me for this week's episode, and without further ado, here is this week's show. What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. This is episode 260. Today, what I'm going to be telling you the story about and reminiscing about is what happened a year ago tomorrow, so May 18th, when we opened the gym and was all over the news and all that. I'm going to kind of reminisce and just reflect on that. Thought that could be fun. Let you guys know some of maybe behind the scenes stuff that not too many people know about. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Hopefully you find this, interesting. Let's say that. So May 4th of last year, I remember me and Devin were sitting outside in the hammock. The kids were at my parents', I believe, and we made the decision that, hey, we got to open. You know, in my gut, in Devin's gut, something wasn't right about what was going on. Keeping small businesses closed, all this type of stuff. And I had very strong feelings on that. But then you go through, okay, what are the repercussions? You start going through all this stuff. But May 4th was the date that the decision was made. May 4th. So fast forward a little more than a week later. So that was a Sunday. Or a Monday, I can't recall. No, that was a Monday, okay? So it must have been May 3rd, now that I'm reflecting about it, because it was a Sunday. A little more than a week later, it was a Tuesday, Devin was working at the gyms, because what we did was a week prior to opening, we opened for some of our members just to test out our protocols, all that type of stuff. So we did that, just to make sure we had everything working correctly, that everything was good to go. That night, so it was Tuesday, May 12th, I was home with the kids, and I saw something pop up on my phone about how, mind you, remember, this is May 12th of last year, that Los Angeles was going to be staying closed through the end of August. And something just snapped at me, and it wasn't. I just saw people were kind of being. They just kept moving the goalposts with this particular. These events. There's so many things you can get into with that, but something snapped, and I said, "Man, I want to give people hope," because I just felt that people were losing hope, and that was really the impetus behind opening the gym. What was to make a stand, give people some normalcy back, do what I believe in. Right, you always got to do what you believe in, even though the consequences could be high sometimes. When you live by principle and character, and people view you as a leader, you're gonna have to make tough decisions sometimes. So anyway, that Tuesday night, I go into one of the New Jersey Facebook groups and I said, listen, we're opening our business Monday, May 18th. Didn't think too much. I was like a minute and a half video. It was a live video. I did it from the kitchen while the kids were eating. And next thing I know, my phone is blowing up, right? It wound up by the end of the night having like hundreds of shares, thousands upon thousands of views. And I was like, oh, shoot, what just happened? Because I wasn't doing this to look for attention. That is not why we did this. Not the case at all. I was doing it out of principle to give our members normalcy and to provide them that social setting and the physical fitness that's so important for their health. So that just blows up. I remember talking to Devin that night and be like, man, now what? Now everybody knows. And again, it's not something we were trying to hide. Go to sleep that night, go work out early Wednesday with a few buddies, and like, man, we saw that. Now what? And I'm like, well, we're going to open. We're going to open on Monday, and that's going to be that. So the next day, which is Wednesday, May 13th, Fox News reached out to me, said, hey, we saw that post. Would you want to be on the Neil Cavuto show this coming Saturday? I said, heck yeah, I'll be on the show. So it went from like, if people that know me, I'm very introverted, don't like a lot of attention. Went from nothing to all of a sudden you're going to be on the national news. So that Wednesday afternoon, we're hanging out at the gym, and people, there's a buzz. People are starting to, it's going to be on Fox. We're opening that viral video, that video that kind of went viral the night before. And I didn't know the guys down in, Belmar at that point. And I don't know what their motives were, but I can tell you that we were the first ones to make the decision to open the gym in the state of New Jersey. Again, May 4th, we made the decision. So anyhow, the Hillsborough, PD, I'm buddies with a lot of those guys. They had kind of said, hey, why don't you kind of just do this, maybe a little more quietly or whatever it was, right? I didn't want to put these guys in a bad position. Did not want to put them into a bad position. But that week continues to go on. That Friday, the day before that, I was on Fox News. A couple of detectives came by, and we were just going to chat about Monday. Now, mind you, I had no idea what to expect. Neither did they. They're like, well, what happens if we give you a summons or a ticket? Do you just close? I'm like, I don't know what the rules are. I don't think anybody knew what was going on, really. So I'm just going to take what comes my way. I spoke with our lawyer, and let's go with it. So Saturday, go on the show. Again, phones blowing up after that. Sunday, kind of had like the calm before the storm. Nothing too much. And then Monday the 18th comes. I'm out for my morning walk and get a call from a buddy who had gone to the gym to work out. He has a key. He was a coach there at the time. Says, man, Kyle, they got the building surrounded already. The county, the town. And I said, well, why is that? And even though you're expecting this, you still get those butterflies. I said, I told him I'm opening at 4 p.m. I didn't lie about any of this stuff throughout the whole thing, right? It was just what we're doing. Here's how we're doing it. Here's when we're doing it. So then you start getting those butterflies and whatnot. I go over to another business meeting mid-morning that Monday. My phone's blowing up with reporters. People, can we come interview you at the gym? I said, yeah, I'll be there at this time. And then we'd seen that the guys down in South Jersey had opened that morning. So we got to see the result of that. We weren't open until 4 p.m. We got to see the result of that. And, kind of get, okay, things are going to be okay. They got their summons, and that was that. So I remember really getting, it was almost like before a sporting event, right? Then you start to get psyched up. You don't know what to expect, or they can even let you into the building, into the gym. So, hanging out with the kids, getting my mindset right. Left at like 2:30 maybe to head over to the gym, and not knowing what to expect. I went to the back entrance where I was parked. Nothing back there. Walk in, quiet. Everything's quiet. Gym's not open yet. I go in, business as usual, start unlocking the doors, open the front door, and now people are starting to pull in. People that I didn't know, just people that wanted to support us, that believed in the cause, what we were doing, right? And just people just start flooding the parking lot. So by like 3:15, there's a couple of officers there at this point. They had to close off the parking lot because it was full. You have news trucks, you have news vans, you have, again, a lot of my friends, our friends were there, but then you also had a lot of people, we had no idea who they were. They just wanted to support us. So we do that. My grandfather, who's since passed, I had asked him that weekend if he would be there with me side by side. He's a World War II vet. He did not believe in people's liberties and rights being trampled upon, as such was happening at the time. And so Leo was there with us to open the gym. We did the national anthem. We were open at 4 o'clock. So we did the national anthem right before that, and then Leo led us in a Pledge of Allegiance right after that, and then we opened. And I'd say by like 6 o'clock, got my first summons. That was it. Officers were really cool. Have a good day, blah, blah, blah. Tuesday, so Monday, right, the big emotional thing. Tuesday, nothing too bad happened to me. You get a summons. The summons are for X amount of money, $1,000 fines, right? Time in jail, all this stuff. And I remember being interviewed at the time. So to give you an inside scoop to my mindset at the time, I remember talking with Devin, and freedom is something I really believe in, right? And saying I'm willing, literally, I would die for the freedom and the future of my children. So that was part of the frame of reference I'm coming at this from. To inspire, give people hope, and then also I'm going to give my kids freedom. I'm not just allowing this to happen. And I think, I just had that gut feeling the whole time that something was off, despite the health issues that were going on in the world at the time. So I had no fear, right? I was doing this at a good place in my heart. You get the butterflies, but I knew if I'm doing that at a good place in my heart, that whatever happened to me was going to be worth it, and it wasn't going to be that bad. So we do that. Monday, you come down off that roller coaster. I know what I wanted to say. One of the interviews they had asked me on one of the national TV. I was like on 7 channels that night or whatever. I can't even remember. But I had said, they said, how long are you going to go on like this if you keep getting fined every day? And I said, I'm willing to go 30 days. 30 days, and we'll see what happens. So, that was out there, right? Tuesday comes, much less fanfare. We open, get my summons. But, I was told by certain individuals that Wednesday was going to be the day that they were going to start summoning the clients. And I'm like, damn, man. Because they're not going to stop me. I don't care about it. But if the clients feel like they're threatened or in danger, that's a different ball game. It's Tuesday night. Get a message from a buddy. I'm going to leave names out of this just in case they don't want me talking about certain things. But hey, let's meet man to man. Go over what's going on. Okay, do that. And it was just buddy to buddy, and we kind of went over like, hey, what's actually going on? And I said, listen, I didn't want to come to you for help. I didn't go to anybody for help. I was not involving anybody in this. This was nobody else's mission but me and Devin's and my family. And so I didn't want to, out of respect, drag anybody else into this. But then it started, then you started to have some political figures reaching out to get involved. And actually, Roy Fryman, who's a good friend, and he's an assemblyman, used to be a client at the gym. I had started to hear what's going on. At this point, right, everybody locally kind of knows if they're following any of the news at all, what's going on. And Roy says, hey, why don't we meet? Maybe I can help you. And now, Roy, again, he's an assemblyman, so he's pretty high up. Have that meeting. I go to the gym that afternoon, do another interview. And I was tipped off again about that the clients are going to be getting summons. Anyhow, I opened the doors up about 3:45. There's hardly any fanfare this day, right? But all of a sudden, all the officers start pulling in. Basically, the whole police department, a lot of the sheriffs from the county, and there had to be like 30 people, right? I'm like, what is going on? It was a pretty wild scene. I remember Devin pulled up shortly after that, and she was just kind of looking like she was a little scared, like, what the heck's going on? So apparently they had been tipped off that there was going to be this big rally that day, and they weren't sure what to expect. Meanwhile, nobody had come. And Roy is there. He had spoken with the governor or the governor's people, and he was working on that end. But he said, to the officers, can't he just train the people outside? They're like, no, these are the orders we've been given. So these guys were just following orders. These guys were awesome, again, throughout the whole thing. And so that's that. If anybody goes in, they're getting a summons. So I go over to the client and say, wait, I said, listen, if you get a summons, if you go in, you're going to get a summons. You're going to get a ticket. I'm willing to cover all your expenses, all your costs. You just let me know. And if you're comfortable with it, I got your back. Nothing's coming out of your pocket if you don't care about having this potentially on your record. So thank God, 4 of them wound up getting summons, tickets, but they went in, and that meant, hey, you stood to fight another day, right? Like we're still in the fight, because if nobody went in, it's like they won, right? It's like that. Now what? Now what are you gonna do? Just open the gym and nobody's gonna be there every day? So we do that. Around 5:30, again that Wednesday night, May 20th, I get a call from Roy. He says, "Hey, can you meet tonight?" I'm like, "Sure. About what?" He says, "Well, it could be me, you, the chief of detectives for the county, and the county prosecutor. Going to go over what the plan is moving forward." I'm like, uh, you know, yeah, of course I'll meet. So I go over to Roy's office, probably around 6:30 or 7. I don't remember exactly the time. And the four of us proceed to meet for about 2 hours. Pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. Like, so earlier in that day too, I'd been led to believe by a few people in law enforcement that was the day I would get arrested. So me and Devin were ready for that. We were prepared for that. What's the plan to get me from the station back to home? Talk to my lawyer, all this type of stuff. So that's the mindset at the beginning of the morning, right? And I remember I was just physically drained. My buddy Frank, we worked out that Wednesday morning. He told me later, he goes, "Man, you were wiped that morning." He goes, you were trying to work out. And you just had this look, um, that, just close that window there, that look that you were just drained. But I was on the Bill Spadia, which is a big New Jersey radio show that morning. So we go through that. We're led to believe, okay, you're going to get arrested today. So I have that closed door meeting around noon or 1 o'clock. Go to the gym, do interviews, just kind of catching up to speed. Roy shows up. We have all the officers there. Hardly any fanfare. Clients get summons. I go to this meeting with the 3 other men, and it was good, man. Shooting the breeze, and they said, "Listen, we got to come to an agreement. These are the orders we've been given by the governor's office. Are you willing to compromise?" I said, "Well, what do you got in mind?" Of course, if it benefits people, I'm willing to compromise. So the thing that came directly from the governor was, if you continue to do this, will you train people outside? Now I said, is that just for me or for everybody in the state? Because that's really what I wanted. I said, everybody in the state, they'll make the announcement later this week. You can do outdoor fitness up to like 25 people or whatever. I said, all right, I'll take it. Because again, it was me. It was moving the mission forward, trying to give people hope. You're in a health crisis, and you're not talking about fitness. You're not letting people be around each other. You're not letting people move. It just made no sense. So we wound up doing a couple shots of whiskey, which was awesome. I mean, it was probably went from it was probably the strangest day of my life, but an awesome day. And you had the emotional dips in the morning, and then you wound up just having this surreal meeting, and that had come directly from the governor and the governor's people. So I leave that night. I get the call the next day. Hey, he's going to make the announcement tomorrow, which would have been Friday. You can open today. Your clients are not going to get summons. You're going to get your summons, but just to give you the heads up. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. So we did that, and then Friday was when he made the announcement about what we had come to. Now, a couple things with that. It was a huge emotional moment for me when we got the announcement. I made a video at the time. A lot of times I'll just go live, but I actually broke down pretty. I don't want to say it wasn't bad, but I broke down. I was emotional. That was you could almost get choked up just thinking about it. But it was surreal, and it was amazing that happened. And then you had, the guys down in South Jersey, where they're, I believe, still going through stuff. But it was a different approach that I took. It came out of a place. I'm not saying I don't know what their intentions were. Our intentions were give people hope. Came out of the goodness of the heart. And we've been open ever since. Like, it's funny when people say, "How's the gyms? They open yet?" I'm like, we've been open for a year, man. We've been open before, and this was with the government's blessing too, mind you. So we were the first this non-essential stuff is complete garbage. But if you go by that classification, we were the first gym open in the state. We were the first non-essential business open in the state, well before everybody. Now, the staff was great. The team was great. It was crazy. I got to speak down at the shore, the Jersey Shore, the following weekend, Memorial Day weekend. They invited me and Leo, my grandfather, down to speak. So that was really neat. We spoke the guys down from the gym down in South Jersey, a couple senators. It was kind of just a whirlwind week, and you know, it was really good. The outcome became buddies with the guys at the county, which was another blessing throughout this. We'll say, I mean, the hate that comes your way when you do something like that. Like this, remember this issue was so divided, so divisive. I was getting a lot of haters, but I didn't care. Right? These people were focused on me. They were giving me their time and attention, which is the most valuable thing they have. And to be honest with you, I didn't read any of their comments. I didn't respond. I saw nasty. I would get these nasty emails, and I'd be like, "Thanks for your concern. Hit the unsubscribe if you don't want to be on my list." That type of thing. And there's many lessons in that. The energy that you bring to any situation is going to dictate the outcome many of the times. And when you stand for what you believe in, no matter what happens to you, you can't go wrong, because you're going to have more regret if you don't do what you believe in. If you just kind of just go with, you just go with it, even though your gut's telling you it's the wrong decision, you're going to look back with regret and say, man, we should have done this, we should have done that. Now, I can look back in decades, right? If I reminisce about this story with my kids or my grandkids at that point, I'll be able to say, here's what happened. I did what was within my power to do. Right? I didn't sit by on the sidelines and just wait. Now, that week, too, leading up to it, once the announcement was out, even before it was on the news, I had a lot of people calling me trying to talk me out of it because of the public judgment that might come towards the family, or scared of being repercussions or consequences. So my lawyer Peter had assured me that it was just me that was going to be in hot water, none of the staff, none of the so that put them at ease. And it was really just a surreal thing. I would not change anything about it. I would not change one thing about it. And it was a great thing. Met a lot of really great people from it. A lot of great support. Actually, some of the people that were there when we opened that first day wound up becoming members. So that was a cool thing. And to this day, though, I still get people that will want to talk to me about that. And there are stuff that I'm not going to say live, just because, again, I don't want to put some people's names out there. But there's some other cool little tidbits that if you ever see me in person, I'll be able to tell you in person. And I'm trying to think, there's one more thing I wanted to finish with for you guys. Oh, you gotta remember, when you stand for something, or you stand up to something, first of all, you don't want to be lukewarm with anything. If you're trying to please everybody, good luck, because it means you're just living a mediocre life. But even just the other day, a buddy, client of mine, said, the town, he lives in the town over, is telling people, he's training with me, he's doing some one-on-one sessions with me. He said, oh, how do you train with that guy? He's such an a-hole. And these are people I can guarantee you I've never met, but they still probably have it fresh in their mind. They saw us on the news. They didn't agree with it. And that's okay if you don't agree with it, right? I can respect somebody if I don't agree with them, if they're standing up for what they believe in. That was one of the main things. So you got to have a thicker skin, but you also got to realize, don't be lukewarm, right? If you're a leader, there's going to be people that do not like you, and that is okay. That's perfectly okay. And it's worth it. It's worth it. It was all worth it. Like I said, that's kind of looking back a year ago. It's hard to believe it's been a year. That's pretty wild. I wrote it all down like in a short book format a week or two later, just so I didn't forget anything of those events. But it's been awesome. We've been open for a year. People were grateful, and they supported us, and I can say that we've been able to give our clients a healthy, somewhat normal, and the gym is completely normal experience for a year now, which is to me invaluable. Right, you're there to protect people, the well-being of your clients and your customers, and the team and the staff at Newell Strength was able to do that. And that's that. You stand for what you believe in. That's looking back a year later on the events that transpired a year ago, and hopefully we'll never have to go through that again. All right, thanks for the support, everybody. You wrote for today's episode. I appreciate you and your time truly. I'm humbled and honored if you made it to the end of this episode. Don't forget, you can go to kylenewell.com for your free ebook written by yours truly on getting started with fasting, infused with 5 mind map principles never before seen. This is something I have not given out to anybody else that'll help you see the light when it comes to your fasting journey and creating better health, both physically and internally. Remember, it's all about the mind, body, and spirit. Until next week, peace.